Hello, great to see you. I love our live peeps. What's going on? If you're watching on replay, grateful, of course, to have you as well too. We have a global family. We know we have all types of amazing, crazy things that are going on in our lives. So we make them available for replay and everything as well too. But with that, live is always best, right? It's always more fun and everything. So what do we got going on today? If you're brand new, just welcome to the family. Uh, like I love the feeling of being brand new. I remember when I first got started in this crazy profession called network marketing 15 years ago. I didn't know my butt from my elbow. I was so shy I couldn't order food at a restaurant. Even the thought of making a sale or like enrolling someone into the business seemed impossible for me. And to be honest, I did it all wrong. Did anyone else, when you got started in your business, you look back and you're like, man, why did I do it that way? Like I kind of made some mistakes and stuff, which is fine. You live and learn. But I remember I for some reason, I thought that I knew how to do this business, even though I never knew how to do it. I never did it before. I tried talking to my close friends the way that I thought I was supposed to talk to them, right? I'm like, we've been through hell and back together. They're my bros, they're my homies. So I remember I sat them down, didn't follow any training, didn't get trained. And I tried to convince them in 5 minutes why this is going to be the biggest thing ever. And not only did they say no, they said, hell no. And they called this a pyramid. They said, you're in a scam. Get out of this. What are you doing? And I almost quit my very first day. But thank God I had a good friend. I had a good mentor. I had a good sponsor. And he said, you got to go to training. Just give it a shot. Go to training. And I went in there and I was super defeated. And I sat through the training. And I finally realized, wow, there's a method to the madness. There's a way that anyone here can succeed because success is based on principles. It's not based on person. It doesn't matter if you're from Yale or jail. It doesn't matter if you have a PhD or a GED. All that matters is you're willing, coachable, and hungry to learn a proven system to go and do the do, and you too can succeed. So I followed the training, and I remember the next prospect opportunity, we're going to talk all about invitation and prospecting today. Who here, by the way, does not want to feel spammy or weird when you're talking to people, right? We're going to talk all about that with my amazing co-host, seven-figure earner, grandma tactician extraordinaire, Miss Kelley Smith. Kelley, how you feeling?
Hey, good. How are y'all today?
Doing amazing. I'm excited
Good.
because I needed to learn from people like you, Kelley, on how to really do this business. And we're going to dive all into this. But I'd love to ask you first, just a little bit about your background as well while we're on this topic. But were you always an incredible tactician and script prompter and everything?
No, definitely not. I was a stay-at-home mom whose back was against the wall and I needed money. And I thought, okay, if all I have to do is talk about something that I like, I can do that, right? I just didn't know anything about social media. I was not a social media person at all. Okay. I was a mom. So I was like, how do I go from like being a mom and talking to toddlers and teenagers to talking to people about health and wellness? And it was horrible in the beginning. It was terrible. I was so awkward. I was like you. I was either like, hair on fire, in your face. You've got to do this. This is amazing. Or I was like a dictionary and just talking and talking and talking and talking. And they were like looking at me sideways. So, no, it took me a long time to get to where I am today, for sure.
Wow. So I hope everybody just gets some encouragement from that. Who here honestly feels that naturally you're not really the best communicator, right? Put a me in the comments if that's you. Like you struggle with your words, you feel awkward, you're kind of that wallflower. Now, some of you, by the way, too, you just got the gift of gab, which is fine too. Like we're jealous of you. You know? So but what I hope that you get today is because if we want duplication, that's what you've been so good at, Kelley. You're going to give us some amazing scripts today. We're going to give you some tactics. The key in this business, if you want scale, if you want income, if you want to win a trip to Punta Cana, who here is excited, by the way, to go to Punta Cana with us? Like, let's go. Let's go. So that is one thing if you haven't yet already seen this, but this entire team, this entire organization, we're bringing hundreds of us out to Punta Cana, and every single one of you can absolutely do this. I'm going to put the commitment form in the in the comments below. If you want more information on that, talk to your friends, talk to your mentors. Like, we can give you all those details. We actually already have, this is not updated. There's one more name, but there's 85. And then yesterday, there's one more that came on board as well too. Andrea Ray just committed. I didn't put it on this list, but come join all the amazing people like us as well too. It's going to change your life. It's going to change your mindset, and you're just going to have so many amazing memories on that as well too. So we got that going on. So with that said, though, if you want to be able to win things like this, the key is scale and duplication. And the only way that you can scale and duplicate is if you have a repeatable process that the average person like Kelley, when she got started, when I got started, can actually do and follow. And that's what we want to be able to give to you guys today. So that's going to be a lot of fun. So Kelley, I'm going to make a couple more announcements, and then I'll bring you back up for some really cool things as well too. All right. Is anyone here excited just to be here today, by the way? You're just like, man, I just know there's something in the air right now. You're going to get equipped. You're going to get empowered. You're going to get all types of cool things right there. All right. So if you are brand new, though, by the way, who here is within your first month in your partner code business? Like, put a 1 in the comments if that's you. We want to welcome you to the family and welcome you to the team. You are who we're doing this for. It's always about how do we help the newest person launch and win and everything. So Lucy, what's going on? Hey, welcome to the family. Proud of you for getting onto your first academy and everything. So if you're brand new, the key step is this first. Is that you go and you launch your business, go through your team boards app, go make your launched pinned post. We have a launch week. We're going to show you how to make 2 posts a day. There's scripts, there's things like that. So that's like the most important thing. So make sure to do that as soon as possible. But the question is, from there, what else can we do to continue to get in front of more people? All right. So with that, we have been doing a lot of these things called drop talks. And what a drop talk is, it's very simple. It is a prospect presentation. It's where we talk about the drops, hormone imbalance. It's like a 30-minute presentation. We share stories. We talk about both the product and the business. And I know Tammy Egbert loves drop talks. They have been so phenomenal, so successful. Just yesterday, Kelley, I was doing a drop talk for Australia and New Zealand. It was their very first one. And it was crazy. We literally had a team of maybe like 10 to 15 people, the newer team. And that drop talk, they had 80 people on the call. 80% of them were prospects. It was nuts. It was crazy. Right afterwards, we had sales coming in left and right. We saw people walking out and rolling with 1,000 points plus as brand partners. We have people, Lucia was on that. She's in New Zealand, saying, hey, I have people wanting to go to their Connect event in the Gold Coast. So from New Zealand to Australia, booking a flight, going like it was crazy. Like I'm still like, wow, I can't believe what just happened right there. But the key behind doing these drop talks, I'm going to be dropping a board with you guys because we have all of these assets here and everything that you two can use these and everything. And a lot of you have been doing them. By the way, who here has already hosted some type of a drop talk yourself? Maybe you grabbed a partner. Maybe you did it yourself. Just this last week, they've been exploding everywhere. So the drop talk is the presentation. But if you present and there's no one watching, then it's not an income producing activity, right? It's great if we talk all the time. But if all we have are our existing partners coming on, but you don't have your newest prospect and your teammate's newest prospect, then it defeats the whole purpose. So I'll share the story as we start to dive into this. So I realized in the beginning how powerful these presentations were. And going back to the story when I totally failed and hit my head on the wall, and I'm like, man, I don't know how to do this. And then I learned how to do what's called an invitation. All right. Put invitation in the comments below. An invitation. An invite is simply inviting and sharing the value to someone to go see a presentation, whether that is a drop talk, a live event, whether that's a recorded presentation, whether that's an event, whether that's a post. It is leading a prospect to go learn some more information. And we want to separate the invitation from the presentation. Here's a mistake most of us make. Kelley was talking about it in her story. Most of us try to have it where we do everything at once. We verbally vomit on people, don't we? We're like, you got to take a look at this. It's got this amazing product and these ingredients, and you get these bubbles, and you make six figures. It's crazy. You're ready to join, and they're like, what did you just say? So when I learned how to separate the invitation from a presentation, it changed everything. The first time this happened for me, I learned the invite, and I went up to my friend and I'm like, I'm just going to try this thing. So I prospected him, I invited him, brought him down to a presentation, did it exactly how the training taught me. And I was so amazed that by the end of the presentation, this person, the only question he had was, how do I sign up? Who do I pay? Where's my credit card? He dropped like $800 on the very first time. And I was just like, wow, that actually worked. The presentations we have down, we have them happening all the time. In fact, later on this week, there's many that are going on all the time, but put this in your calendar, leverage this opportunity. Thursday, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, we have Kelley Smith, Body Balance Challenge winner as well too. And Amelia Harper, also Body Balance Challenge winner. She is now dubbed the African Drops Queen. So absolutely true. Two of our most incredible presenters, so many different things, leaders and everything. We do one live for the entire community. You can plug people into this. Who here knows that if you bring someone new in front of something like this, they're going to be excited. Like they're going to be like, oh my gosh, not just for the product, but also for the business. Because these guys are all of them are 7-figure earners in this profession as well too. All right. So with that, I'm going to stop talking as much because I'm here personally because I want to learn from Miss Kelley Smith. So Kelley, talk to us about this. When it comes to the art of invitation, let's get some mindset and some psychology first, because you gave us a lot of scripts. I'm going to give them everyone here too. But when you're thinking about a script, when you're thinking about how to not be awkward, how do you come up with what to say?
Okay, if you're going to take notes, I want you to write this down. If you hear anything from me, hear this. People do not want to be sold to. They don't. We get sold to every day, all day, on the TV, on the radio, at stores. We don't want to be sold to. What people are looking for is to see if you actually have a solution to what they're looking for. Okay. So they're not looking to be sold. They're looking to see if you have their solution. So that's your job. You're going to present this and give them the solution that they're looking for. We're not selling to them. People get sold to all day long and it's a turnoff, right? But if I can talk to Kathy just like a friend or someone, an acquaintance, and I give her the feeling that I have the solution she's looking for, she's in. It's that simple.
Okay, man. All right. I love Kelley because what takes me 10 sentences, you say in like a couple words. All right. So you're giving the solution. What are some of the biggest mistakes you see people make when they're trying to invite for things?
Fear, number one. So people are scared to invite. That's just the truth. Who's scared to invite to a call? I'm scared. I get nervous. I'm like, oh, I don't know. 13 years in the industry, you guys, I still have that feeling. I still get that pain point of like, oh, I don't know. Should I reach out to her? Should I invite her? Is that going to be weird? Maybe she won't want what I have. So here's another thing that's so important. You have no idea what your friends or social media people are longing for. You just don't. You have no idea if Susie Q cried last night to go to bed because she's in massive debt and can't pay her bills. You don't know if Ryan fell asleep last night in so much pain and inflammation that he's like, how can I feel better? We don't know. So if you can take that out every time you feel scared and instead think of, I have a gift and I'm just sharing it with someone. If they want to, they'll take it. If they don't, that's okay. Okay.
Huge.
So it is. We always discount people. And I just think of myself for the first time I saw a post, right? And we always say they saw a post, they saw a post. That's how I got into this industry. And I was that mom. I was a stay-at-home mom. I was struggling. I needed to lose baby weight. I felt very anxious and anxiety. And I wasn't telling anybody that. I didn't want people to know that, right? But I saw a post, and so she opened the door for me to say, "Huh, wonder what that is. I wonder if that could help me." Right? So it gave me the courage to call, message her and say, "Hey, what is this?" So you
Mm.
see that people do that all the time. So I always call it a turtle hand. Ever seen someone do a turtle hand? Like your kids in math class and no one wants to answer, and they're like, "I'm not sure I know the answer, but I'm kind of going to throw up a turtle hand." Right? If they comment, if they follow you, if they go to your stories and look, that is someone's turtle hand. They're saying, "Hey, I want to know, but I'm scared to ask." Right? So I think everybody, if we can get into the habit of saying, who's throwing up the turtle hands? Who's following me? Who's watching me? Who's maybe not messaging me? Maybe they haven't commented, but they like something, or they're just viewing your stories all the time, right? I mean, great example, James and Lindsay. Lindsay was like barely doing a turtle hand. She was whipping through his stories really fast because she didn't want him to say anything. She didn't want him to know that she was looking, but he noticed. And he had the courage to reach out and just say, "Hey, sis, that's it. Not weird. Just checking in." And look what's transpired because of that, you know?
That's huge, man. So guys, here's a saying that I think about when Kelley, you're saying this. Something's only weird if you make it weird, right? It doesn't have to be weird. So why Kelley is so different and why you are so different is where most people they just stay stuck when they face the problem. What Kelley's doing is she's thinking, if it feels weird, how do I make it not feel weird? Right. And then you'll find ways of not making it weird, right? And that's how we start to have this. Right. Any notes on that, Kelley?
Yeah, I think, we are going to feel that way. It's very natural for you to be nervous or to think it's going to be weird. But like most of the time, if you're not sending a sales graphic, that's cold, right? You're not sending them like, "Hey, here's my website, go order this amazing stuff that I love." That's not what we do here. We're sharing our experiences. If Katie messages me and she knows, maybe I've posted on social media that, I'm struggling with back pain. We always complain, or maybe I post all the time that I'm tired. You got to watch people. It's not weird. It would not be weird to me if Katie messaged me and said, "Hey, I saw your post that you're really tired all the time." Man, I can relate to that, Kelley. 6 months ago, I was taking a nap every day at 3 o'clock. That's not weird. She's relating to something that I said on social media. I shared with her. I'm tired all the time. So that's not weird. We need to learn, like, those things are like genuinely caring about someone and saying, "Hey, I see you. I saw that you said you're tired. 6 months ago, Katie, I felt that way too. I was napping all the time." And you're genuinely moving into a conversation where it's not going to be weird. You're just sharing experiences. And my outcome, my goal is to tell Katie, "Hey, I found a solution. Maybe this will work for you too. Do you want to take a look?" That's
Mm, that's the key, guys. Do you want to take a look? It's not, do you want to buy? Do you want to join? You see, that's invitation versus presentation. Do you want to take a look? Do you want it? That's all we're aiming to do with a good invitation. And then the look is a presentation, right? Our jobs is not to convince someone to buy something or do something they don't want to do. Our job is to share a story, connect, build relationships, and then be able to connect others to things that can help them get what they want as well. I know, and they can make their own decision. So yeah, Kelley, I love to have a challenge out as we're going into this event. Who here wants to make sure that this week, not next week, not a month from now, not a year from now, but this week your business explodes? All right. Give me a wave or put a 10 in the comments below. This challenge will change your life. This is how we exploited the Australia New Zealand call. Very simple. We had a meeting just like this, and there were only 10 people. And we put an event out, and this is the challenge. This Thursday, make it a goal to invite at least 10 people confirmed to come on to this. Okay. Or if you have other drop talks, whatever, just 10 this week. Could be anybody. All right. And why 10? Because if 10 say they're going to come, half of them are going to probably show up because life happens. And out of those five, one will join, one will buy. That's probably how the stats are going to play out. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to equip you with how to do that. This graphic will be in all the prospect groups. But who here is down to pre-commit to saying, I'm going to move heaven and earth and do whatever it takes to get 10 people on this week. Yeah, putting me in the comments below. All right, now we have a goal. All right, Kelley, keep on going. What's on your mind?
I'm trying to Hey, sorry, I have my child is coming in my room.
Hi, child.
Like, I'm on a call. This is real life, guys. This is how we do things. When you have 5 kids and 8 grandkids, you're never alone. You can't pee alone. You can't do anything by yourself. That's just to say you can do this business, okay?
Yes.
Okay, so here's the thing about the 10. If you can invite 1, you can invite 100. Right? So 10 is like, that's great. I know it sounds scary and that sounds like a lot of people, but 10 people right now that you talk to on a regular basis. Maybe you haven't shared the drops yet, or maybe you have and they haven't ordered. The invitation is just that. It's no pressure. You're inviting them to take a look. You're not telling them, they're going to buy. You're not saying you've got to buy, you got to order, you got to join my team. You're just going to ask them to come and take a look at something that's helping you. And I like to invite with giving them some solutions. So like if I know they're a teacher, if I know they're a nurse, or I know, what they do for a profession, I'm going to tailor my invite. And you'll see that in the scripts that I shared. I'm going to tailor that invite to them. Maybe it's not a teacher call. Maybe it's not a nurse call, and that's okay. But they are. And so I want to tailor it around that so I can fit their needs. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So I might say something like along with these scripts, like, hey, I know you are a busy mom and you're a teacher. You've got 1,000 things going. I can completely relate to that. So you're telling them, hey, I get you're busy, but I would really love for you to come check something out that's really helped me and so many other teachers feel better, have more energy, stay healthy, and actually make some extra money. Can I send you the link invite? They're going to say yes or no. Most of the time, 99.9% of the time, everyone's going to say yes. Doesn't mean they're going to get on, but they'll say yes. So when they do, you say, awesome. And here's another tip. I'm going to remind you an hour before the call. I'm going to text you ahead of time. So you're letting them know, you're giving them the expectation that you are going to check with them and say, hey, here's your reminder for the call. So it doesn't be weird. It's not weird. You're not bothering them because you've already told them you're going to text them an hour before the drop talk. So they're expecting it, right? So you put it in your phone, text Susie at 5:00 or whatever time, hour before the drop talk. And you just simply text her, hey girl, or hey friend, hey Susie, however you talk. The drop talk starts in an hour. I wanted to give you that heads up. I'm excited for you to listen in. Can't wait to hear what you think. Okay, you want to tell her or him that you want to know what they think. So again, you're going to kind of reiterate that. I can't wait to hear what you think. Maybe after the drop talk is finished, you see her on, you shoot her another message. I'm so happy that you were able to get on. I can't wait to see what your best takeaway was, or I can't wait to hear what you think, because that's the follow-up, because you're going to follow up. So it's just a constant flow of like friendship, constant flow of like, hey, I'm so excited. Your energy, she's going to see that, or he's going to see that. If you just send an invite and a week later, they don't even hear from you, and like, you don't remind them, I'm going to forget. I mean, like, I'm on the call. And if James doesn't say, hey, we have a call in an hour, I'm forgetting. Okay. We're busy. Life gets in the way. So it's not weird. It's just courtesy. It's kindness to say, hey, I really want you genuinely on this call. So I'm going to remind you, I'm going to send you a text. Hey, I really want to know your feedback. So I'm going to ask. That's it.
So good. So a couple of things I'm getting from this. Does anyone else feel that Kelley's just having a normal conversation with someone? Right? You don't have to make it all strange and fancy and secretive and, businessy. It's just, you're my friend. Hey, come check it out. Right? It's like, okay. So that's huge. And follow-up is also friendly. Follow-up is professional. In fact, if we don't follow up, I would submit that it's actually a selfish thing, because if we don't follow up, we're really thinking, are they going to judge me? What are they going to think? We're not thinking about them. But from the beginning, from what I'm hearing in Kelley, is she just has a heart for them. So here's some scripts, for example, and this is in the boards. But they're all pretty much similar. This is the one that she just went through, right? So let me repeat this one, so you guys can see the common thread. The goal with these scripts is not so that you can just turn off your brain and copy paste, right? What I'm really hoping that you gain from today is the mindset on how Kelley does this. So you can see the patterns right there, right? Put patterns in the comments below. Like that's how you really master this business. You want to learn how to be a good communicator. You want to learn why people do the things they do, why they don't. You too can master this. Remember, both Kelley and myself started as not great communicators, So this is all absolutely learnable. And let me give you a pro tip too. By the way, we have ChatGPT as well. So if you're ever in doubt, you can ask ChatGPT, hey, I have this friend who's this. We have a drop talk thing on Thursday. Well, how would you invite them to come take a look? Right. So you can learn from these different models. So let's repeat this busy mom approach one. Hey, Susie, I know how crazy life is juggling kids, work, and everything else. That's exactly why I thought of you. You see, it's personalized, right? This is not some blanket cold pitch. Who here's ever been cold pitched before? Hey, hey, girl, none of that. That does not work. That's exactly why I thought of you. We've been doing these drop talks where busy moms share they boosted their energy, lost stubborn weight, even created extra income without adding more to their plate. No pressure, just real stories. Can I send you some details for the next one? Oh, so normal, so impactful, so personalized. No ickiness, no gooiness. Gooiness, is that a thing? Yeah. And that's that simple there. I know. Perfect. Kelley, anything else on these?
No, just like I said, just take the fear out, take all the expectation out, and just consider helping someone, like giving them a solution. And really, all you're doing is inviting them to take a look at what you actually think that can help them. So it is a gift that we have. It's not weird. I think we make it weird out of fear. So if we can and think of it as like you're going to share to your friend what's working for you, and it could be the solution they've been praying for, it takes that fear out of it, and you'll do it more.
Got it. Now, there's many different approaches you have here. What would you do for somebody like when I think about an event like this? Who here, by the way, already had names start popping into your mind? We're like, I don't know why they're in my mind right now, but I just kind of need to like, they're on my mind, right? So yeah, Rhonda does, right? So what if you don't know much about them? Like you haven't been in connection as much. You don't know their hot buttons. You don't know if they want to lose weight or they want to make money or anything, but you love them. You want to help them. You want to invite them to something like this. How would you instruct us to talk to them?
So I would just be the same high energy, same genuine. And you might just not make it so tailored. You can use your own example. Like, I am so excited about what I've found. I've been utilizing these products for the last 6 months. I feel amazing. I've been able to make some extra money. So I thought about you. Maybe this is something you'd like to look into. Or I'd love to have you on for your feedback. Even ask them just to jump on to give you their honest opinion, right? Because you don't know, maybe they don't need it. Maybe they don't, maybe they're not struggling with something specific, but they could have an opinion, right? They could be interested once they hear about it. So you're just asking them to jump on because of how you feel. And you think, hey, maybe this could be for you. Would you like to come check it out?
Okay, perfect. How about for I feel like Kelley's a chat GPT. I'm just gonna ask her for prompts now. So I'm going over a couple different things because there's many different types of people on this call. What if
Mhm.
you're brand new? You've barely even, maybe your product even come to the door. You want to launch this, you want to share this, but you're like, I don't have my own story. I've made zero money. I'm negative money. By the way, I don't consider this business negative income when you buy the products because we're going to buy them anyway, right? But let's say you're like, I haven't done anything, but I want to bring someone to this call. What do I say? What do you think?
So I think that's probably the scariest, right? Who is thinking, I'm not doing that? Who right now is like, yeah, I'm brand new and I'm not inviting people. Okay, so here's the thing. You have no idea, right? You don't know. You've only been in the company a week. You haven't even tried your drops yet. So what are you going to even say? The thing is that what got you to buy the drops? Remember it. What got you to say, I'm going to order? Or what made you sign as a brand partner? Remember that, right? You didn't have a story yet. You didn't know exactly what was going on when someone invited you or asked you about the opportunity. Do you see my cat going absolutely crazy in my background? This is my life, you guys. I kid you not. Like, I live on a farm. I have more animals and children than most normal people. You just, when you're on a call with me, you got to roll with it. I mean, it is what it is. Okay. If this is just gives you guys, should give you so much excitement. Like, if this wackadoodle can do this job and make 7 figures, I certainly can be way more successful. Okay. But seriously, you're just asking someone, hey, I'm excited about something I found for health, fitness, longevity, and making some extra money. I'd love for you to come check it out. That's it. It doesn't have to be some long drawn out, okay, it lowers cortisol, it reduces inflammation, like I have more energy. No, overall, like I'm so excited about something I found that's for health and fitness and longevity, and I can actually make some money on the side. Thought of you. Would you like to come check it out? That's simple.
Wow.
Keep it simple.
Less is more. Less is more.
Really is. It truly, truly is. I mean, look at me. Less is more. I have a lot going on in my life. So I'm not complicating it for anyone. I keep it stupid, ridiculously simple. Like, seriously, the best way to get people and to share this with people is to show you that you're normal. You're normal too. You're a normal busy mom. You're a normal, I've got 1,000 things going on. If I can do this, you can do this. It doesn't have to be, because you know what I thought, like way back in the beginning? I thought, I'm not professional. Like, I don't have a college degree. There's no way I can own a business or like grow a network. Like, what is those words didn't transcend to me, right? Because I was a stay-at-home mom. I had no college degree. I was just looking to feel better and maybe make some extra money. If the woman who I reached out to 13 years ago had been super professional and perfect, I probably wouldn't have joined her. I'm just going to be honest. So if you don't think you have something, if you don't think you've reached enough, success, that's not true. I think more people are relating to you when you're just you, in your quirks and your cat and your kid and whatever else you have going on, versus trying to be perfect. Remember, we're just inviting someone to take a look at what we're doing. That's all. We're not expecting them to buy or join. That's another thing you got to take away. Okay. You're just inviting. This is what you're learning, the art of an invite and the art of follow up. If you get a sale, fantastic. If you get someone that jumps on with you as a brand partner, phenomenal. But it's okay if they don't. That means next week you're going to invite 10 more people, and the next week 10 more people, and 10 more people, and 10 more people. Okay. So it doesn't have to be perfect, and you don't have to have someone actually sign up for that to be successful. You invited 10 people. That is the success. That's the win. And we want you to celebrate that. So next week, it'll be easier to invite those 10 people, right? And the following week, you'll be like, man, this is a breeze. I invited 20. That's what we want you to learn.
It's so freeing when you finally overcome this. Who here is like me, where you're scared of judgment of other people, right? The best way to overcome this, and this will be a life thing, honestly, is going through this invitation exercise. Because when you're able to detach the outcome from just the action, you're like, oh yeah, I'm just sharing something good. It's up to them. They can do it. You walk with so much freedom in this life. Like you just feel amazing, right? Who here wants to feel like Kelley? Kelley's like, I'm just me, right? I don't care if you like me or hate me or whatever. That's up to you. I'm just going to be me. I'm going to share me because I know I'm going to be a gift to other people out there, right? So good. Okay. Let's go through one more invite scenario. There's an infinite amount, right? But I hope you guys, through various amounts, you're like, okay, I can see how this works. All of us have a chicken list. And especially in the beginning, what's a chicken list? Chicken lists are those people that you would love to have in your business. You're scared of them because, you think they're smarter than you, better looking than you, make more money than you, more professional than you. You're scared of them because if they got in your business, they'd blow it up. Or you think, you never know, but you think they'd blow it up. Who here has some chicken list people in mind already? Give me a wave or put a me in the comments, right? They're a doctor, they're a high-powered entrepreneur, they're your mom, they're your friend, right? Someone like that. So how do you, and I love your perspective, because here you are, stay-at-home mom, no college degree, not a professional. So I can imagine you've gone through this your entire life. It's like, how do I talk to a high-powered entrepreneur or someone? What's your take on talking to these people on a chicken list to invite them?
The exact same thing. The exact same thing. We are all human. We are. We're all moms and dads and grandmas and grandpas and aunts and uncles and brothers and sisters. We are all the same. I don't care if you are from Yale, like James said, or you just got out of jail. Okay. Things happen in life. And maybe, just maybe that high powered attorney that you think is amazing and knows a lot of people is struggling. Maybe they're miserable. Sure, they're a high powered attorney in your town and they have a great network and you think they're fantastic, but maybe they're miserable inside. And this is what's going to change their life. Maybe they're riddled with anxiety. I was struggling with anxiety so bad before the drops. That's one of my favorite things about the drops. And I should talk about it more. I need to talk about it more. But though that's huge. It's changed my life. It's changed my daily life to be able to get up and not feel that. So who cares that he's a high powered attorney? Like, no one really cares at the end of the day, right? He's just like you and I. And he might be struggling with something. So you're going to invite him just like you'd invite your neighbor. And if you can remember that, the fear leaves and you'll remember, hey, I just want to give him a solution if he has something that he's looking to have a solution for.
So big. Guys, put in the chat. We are all people. That's so true. Like, that's absolutely the case. Like, so many times, I think with these society constructs and we elevate people based on whatever. But at the end of the day, if you poke me, if you poke Kelley, if you poke the high powered attorney, we all bleed the same blood. Right? So
Yeah.
we all get the same stuff. And that was huge for me. I'm like, oh, that's so true. Yeah. I love how you make it so simple and right to the point and just invite them the same. And it's only weird if you make it weird. If you're going in there like, oh my gosh, they're this amazing person. But no, remember, he's a person, she's a person, I'm a person, we all a person. I'm just going to talk to them like that.
And
That
here's
was
the
so
thing.
great.
Here's the thing. What is the absolute? I always think about this. This is how my brain works. What's the worst case scenario? I ask myself that all the time. I'm like, okay, if I invite this high powered attorney and I send him a message or I text him or whatever for friends, what's the worst thing that can happen? I'm like, okay, he's going to say, absolutely not. That's ridiculous. That's a pyramid scheme or something like that. I'm like, okay. I'm like, words, it doesn't matter. The worst thing that can happen is he says no or makes something like a negative about what I'm doing. But here's the thing, if he thinks it's negative and that's the worst thing that happens, I know it's not. And I'm so certain and so confident because I'm utilizing the products and I'm already building an amazing business and I know what this industry can bring. His words don't mean anything to me. They don't sting as bad when you know that, right? So the worst thing that someone can say to you if you invite them on a drop talk is no. It's okay if they say no, I promise you. Like, take a breath and say, okay, he said no. On to the next invite. And you know what? When people say no to me, this is another thing, and you might not feel comfortable doing this right away, but in 13 years you will. When people say no to me, I invite them all the time. I invite them all the time. I'm like, oh yeah, you want to say no to me? I'm gonna call you every week and ask you again. So that's me, but you will. It's like, what do you mean no? Right? You're gonna learn a no is just a not right now. And if you can continue to give them information and drip on them and kindness and care and being genuine, they're going to say yes eventually. So don't give up on the no's. And what's the worst thing that can happen? They say no. It stings for like a second and then you're on to the next. So don't take it so seriously or so personally.
Can you guys adopt that mindset? They're all going to join me eventually. True.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Because that's how convicted you are about your goals, your dreams, what we're doing, and everything. So love that. Okay. Final piece, Kelley. So we invited them. And by the way, is this helpful so far? Like, let us know. Like, I hope this just breaks down limiting beliefs. It's like, wow, that's not that hard. Okay. I'm gonna get my 10 for Thursday. I'm gonna go more, right? Some of you guys are gonna go crazy. We had a teammate invite like 100 people and they just went like nuts on these calls. And that person also enrolled in Elite Pack from that as well, too. So you bring them onto the call, it's happening, they're up, they're here now. And you're like, what do I do after? So how do you follow up and start transitioning things into that?
So for me, if someone gets on a call, I'm a thank you immediately. Like I'm appreciative that they took time out of their day or an evening to get onto what I invited them. So number one, make sure you touch back and say, I am so grateful that you got on the call. Thank you for taking that 30 minutes to jump on to hear if this might be something that could help you. I appreciate that. That will go a long way. Okay. So even if they don't order or join you this time, I promise you, they're going to remember that you told them thank you and that you are appreciative that they got on the call. Okay. That's number one. So always thank someone, appreciate your time, value that you jumped on to listen. And then just follow up, ask questions, see if they have questions. Be like, hey, what did you think of Rhonda's talk? Or, ask like whoever it was. When I followed up with people after Gina's call, I said, oh my gosh, what did you think of Gina? Is she not fantastic? Right? Just because I know Gina was speaking. So I'm going to ask them what they thought. So ask questions, get them to kind of ask you questions because you want them to say, okay, well, what is this stuff? Like, does it really work? Or, how do I make money here? What's the 3 and free? You want them to ask questions. So by you asking questions, it's going to provoke them to ask questions too. But be thankful, tell them if you appreciate them jumping on, and then just conversate and see if it leads somewhere. If it doesn't, that is okay. You have to be okay. I want you to know because I don't want next week on Thursday, you guys to invite 10 people and then you're shot down and feel like a failure because they didn't order. I am going to celebrate the heck out of you for inviting 10 people. I don't care if they order or join. I promise you, that's not the outcome that we're necessarily looking for. What we're looking for is for you to have the confidence to go invite 10 more people the following drop talk. Okay. So it doesn't matter. Take that off the table. If they buy from you, we're going to celebrate like crazy. If they join, amazing. But we're also going to celebrate you for inviting 10 people. You guys, that's huge. That is huge. So take the nerves off, invite the 10 people, follow up with those 10 people, show them that you're grateful, tell them that you're grateful, and invoke conversation and see where it leads.
I love that. And I'm curious because Katie asked this in the chats as well too. We do end the presentation with some options. We say there's an A, B, and C option like that.
Yep.
How would you utilize this? How do you utilize this? I know everyone's different, but what are your thoughts on that?
I would probably utilize that. I do utilize it just in a little bit of a different way. For me, like I said, I feel like I'm very average. I'm like your average everyday person. So like I like to speak in average everyday language. Like a lot of people won't relate to our network marketing language. Okay. I think that's a tip to take away as well. Most people don't speak like we do in the industry. We do together because it's what we're growing and we're learning to do, right? We value that. We understand each other when we speak that way. If someone, your neighbor, has never done anything in network marketing or team building or any of those things, they're not going to relate to that language. Does that make sense? So try to make it more personal when you're talking about that. Don't say, are you an A or a B or a C, right? We like that. We like that on the call. But when you're following up, maybe just say something like, would you be interested in seeing if the products could help you with XYZ? And whether it's to lose weight, whether it's have more energy, to feel better, whatever. Instead of saying like the A, say, hey, would you willing to try the product to help with whatever they need help with? If it's the business side, say, hey, I know you are, a hard worker. You work 2 jobs, whatever it is. Would you be interested if I could show you how to turn this into some extra money? So I just tweak my language. I try to take the network marketing language out. I love it here, right? We know we're learning and I think it's great, but there's a time and a place for that. And we have to make sure we're speaking to people like we would normally speak to them in a conversation because it does sound more genuine.
Guys, that was gold right there. So always think, who am I talking to? How do I translate this into their language and take the business talk out of it and just make it like normal? Which is everything I'm getting from Kelley, right? I feel really empowered to follow up with just having a conversation. It's caring about them. It's sharing information and then seeing if you can help solve a problem for them. Yep. And at any point, by the way, like who here would love someone like a Kelley Smith to speak with someone like your prospect? So yeah, I'm not saying everyone get Kelley into 3-ways or anything. But she has only so much time on her farm with her grandkids and everything. So, but if in doubt, one of the best things that you can do to learn this is connect with someone. Like, do you have somebody that is someone you can connect with on a 3-way conversation? Someone you're like, I want to not just get them connected, but I want to learn. One of the best ways that I learned how to do this was I watched how my mentors did it. and specifically within my own live prospect conversations. So I get them in a conversation, get them in a three-way thread, get them on a call, whatever that it is. And I'd be happy, but I wouldn't just sit back and be like, all right, do the work for me. I would be taking notes of like, how did Kelley do that? Why did she say that? I'm like, I want to learn and really glean from this. And then eventually you're like, oh, I know exactly what she needs. I don't necessarily need a three-way right now. I got it like that. All right. Kelley,
Yeah.
any notes on that?
That is huge. My personal team, my girls, we are constantly every single day in multiple three-way chats, text message threads. They want to put me into their conversations because maybe they don't have the same testimony and I relate to whoever they're trying to prospect, right? Or they haven't made the amount of money where they're confident yet in talking about the business. So they talk about their health journey and then they throw me in there just to, give that third party validation to the business. I love three ways. I build by three ways, three-way conversations on Facebook, on the phone, text message, because we know people are busy. Shanna is a girl on my team. She's incredible. I mean, she will put me in a text thread with people. If she's at the gym and someone's interested, she'll text me, hey, can I throw you into a text message with Connie? I said, sure. And we just text because people text. People love to text. So I would highly recommend that. If you have a support team, if you have someone that you're working with, accountability partners, and you can three-way, man, game changer.
Got it. So I was going to ask a question to you. How do you start a three-way? So it sounds like so. If I'm the teammate, I'm talking to a prospect, and let's say I'm leveraging Kelley. It sounds like first I'm going to ask you, hey, can just permission, like, can I throw you guys in a three-way message like that?
It does
Uh,
only because it
yeah.
makes it the time frame, right? What if I'm at a hair salon and I can't really talk back to someone? So she's just saying, hey, can I throw her in now? And I might say, hey, I'm super busy, but I'll text you in an hour and then let's do it. But that's just really to, make sure I'm available.
Makes sense. Okay. And then what do I say to the prospect to get them on a three-way?
So very same thing. It's just like keep it as normal as possible. I would never say this is my upline. Like my neighbor doesn't know what upline means, right? No one knows what upline means but you and I, right? I wouldn't say my sponsor. No, you have to use normal language, okay? Facebook Messenger, text message, conversation. We use our everyday language, okay? Just be like, hey, this is my friend Kelley. She has had an amazing journey on the drops. I thought she could relate to your story, so I wanted to connect you guys. You got to hear Kelley's story about how her anxiety is so much better since starting the drops, right? If it's a prospect and they're like wanting to build and make money, like she had a realtor friend the other day. She's a networker. This is what she does, and she told Shanna, "Hey, I'd love a second stream of income." Are you kidding me? So she's like, awesome. This is my friend Kelley. I'm going to put you guys in a text thread because she's making money sharing these health products and she can tell you how to do it. Right. So it's just normal language. It's just like, hey, this is my friend. She has this story, that story. I wanted you to hear it so you could, ask her questions.
Super simple. Guys, put in the chat, make it normal. Make it, or that's all
It
we're going to
sounds funny, but like we do, like as humans, we overcomplicate things. We do. It's this. Here's the thing. We want to win so bad. Who wants to win? Like, who wants to be like a chairperson 5,000? Okay. I do too. I do. So we have this huge fire to win. And so we get so nervous. We make it like scary and we do it to ourselves. It doesn't have to be that way. I promise you. It doesn't ever have to be weird, salesy, or awkward. Like when I first started, that was one of the most important things to me. I said, I wasn't that person and I didn't want to become that person. That person that everybody sees and they're like, oh God, she's gonna ask me to have a party or buy something. I gotta go the other direction, right? I never wanted to be that person. So I've never done that stuff. I just don't. I'm not weird. I don't make it awkward or salesy or I just make it like normal. Like this is what I do every day. This is my job. This is my career. And I'm just sharing it with you. Yes, it's different than yours because I work from home and it's a little bit different, but I always think of it like this is normal. This is what I do. And so why would I not share it with you normal like I do? Like I want you to feel like it's not weird, so I'm not going to make it weird. So just try. I know it's hard because it gets scary and it's human nature to have fear. But when you realize this is a gift, when you can get your mind and your heart aligned with that, you have an absolute gift that can change people's lives. You will share it normally. You will share it to everybody because you truly feel that way, right? So it will come naturally and the conversations will be normal.
love it. Love it. Kelley, any last words as we start to close things off?
Well, first, thank you for being on a Saturday. This is amazing. I can't believe, so many people jump on a Saturday to hear the crazy lady talk about prospecting, but I value that. It's important to me. I think, when people give up their time to come on a call or to jump on a Zoom or whatever it is, I appreciate it. So thank you for hanging out with James and I on a Saturday morning. It means a lot. And second, you guys are already winning because you're showing up. Like, clap for yourself, pat yourself on the back. Like, you're already winning because you're doing the do. You're getting on the calls, you're learning, you're saying, hey, teach me to do these things better. Give me the confidence so I can go out and help a lot of people. So you are winning. So think of it that way. This is just, we're giving you the weights, right, to get bigger muscles in the invite department. That's all. We're teaching you and saying, hey, here's some scripts. Look at them. Don't copy them, copy and paste them. Tweak them a little bit, how you would talk or what, your interests are. And then just talk to people about it. Just invite people to check out what we have. No expectation, no fear. You're just inviting, then follow up. That's normal, right? We talk to people. We're going to ask them what their opinion is. People love to give their opinion. Trust me. So follow up with people and just say, hey, what did you think? Do you have any questions? Isn't that cool? Wasn't that story amazing? Just follow up like you normally would with anything else. If you invited someone to dinner and you went and had dinner, would you say the next day, hey, thanks for coming to dinner? Weren't those steak tacos amazing? It's the same thing we do every day. We just psych ourselves out because we're new and we're fearful. But once you start learning, this is what you do. This is your career. This is what you're doing. And you're just sharing it with other people genuinely. It will get easier, I promise.
Love it. Kelley, let's give her tons of love in the chat. Thanks for taking your time out of your crazy life to be able to give your value to us. So appreciate you, so love you, and can't wait to hear you on the Drop Talk on Thursday. This is great, and so many other things. Okay, guys, was that not phenomenal? Was that not incredible? Like, oh my gosh. So a couple action items as we get out of here. Who here is committed that this Thursday that you're going to be bringing on 10 people for that Drop Talk, right? Let's recommit in the chats below, throw 10 or me or whatever that it is. That's the thing, right? See, if Kelley can explain training like that simply, don't you think she can explain the product and the business that simply? I'm excited just to hear what she says. I'm like, oh, okay, that I get it. So take advantage of that and do your best with that. What else do we have? Well, if you like this, then if you're newer with us, then every day, actually Monday through Friday, you get to hear things like this from people like Kelley and so many of our other incredible leaders as well too. We have an income producing activity call that is incredible that you're going to want to make 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Eastern. And these, I'm telling you, those that are plugging into these consistently live or replay, yeah, they're just exploding. Who here's already been to some of these IPA calls? It's just like every day you're filled with goodness and nuggets and notes and just like it's crazy. So take advantage of that for sure. The biggest IPA I would say is come with us to Punta Cana, run with us on this, have a goal, have a target, and don't worry about the details of it yet. Just be like, man, that sounds great. That sounds amazing. Why? I think is most valuable for this, that you made a decision. And number two, you're actually invited to a special exclusive group. We have masterminds. We have a community there. If you need people, you feel like, man, I don't know who to talk to. I don't know who I can get support from. The whole community here, they're collaborating so much. They're doing calls together, cross line, up line, down line, doesn't matter. It's just one big happy family. So I'd encourage you, commit and just put in your deposit, your form, everything like that. And that is going to be a huge, huge thing. So I'll drop that in the chat one more time so that we have that there. And other than that, is that everything that I have on my end? Let me double check. Oh, replays, by the way, too. Who here feels like you had some teammates you're like, man, need to see this as well. We have all of our trainings, by the way, in all the partners groups, but we also have a YouTube channel that we have everything here. So our academy is right here. You can use that and everything else. For all of our calls, like drop talks and stuff, we also have another YouTube channel, the Wellness 360 channel. So whether it's a live call or they need a replay or anything, you can use those as well. Okay, cool. Lots of notes, lots of stuff. Kelley, I'm just ready to go talk to people. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you for being on. Feel free to unmute yourself. Have an amazing weekend. God bless.
Thank you so much.